Hello and welcome to another episode of Storware Academy. My name is Paul Piskosz and I am pre-sales engineer at Storware. Today we will be talking about OpenShift, how Storware Backup and Recovery can protect environment based on the OpenShift. Here I'm thinking about stateful set, deployment config, as well as VM running in OpenShift environment. Shall we begin? Okay, let's start our journey. First step is to log into Storware Backup and Recovery. I have prepared freshly installed instance of Storware. So let's check. We have to go into virtual environments, virtualization providers. As you can see, I already have connected my OpenShift, but if you are starting, you need to use a create button over there from the list of supported by us hypervisors. Please find and select OpenShift, Red Hat OpenShift Virtualizator, and fill the gaps. In URL, you need to provide HTTPS address to your OpenShift. Do not forget at the beginning at API. And also, please use a port which you are used for the communication. Later, you have two options. First of them, use a token. So use that authorization option is supported. But also, you can provide kubeadmin login and password. Next step is to provide information where OADP operator is installed, what project is used for that. Let's check where I have mine installed. This is my instance of OpenShift, operators, installed operators, and let me put here as an all project, OADP. Okay, mine OADP operator, which I install from Operator Hub directly from here, is set and installed in namespace. That's in namespace, that's in projects from our perspective, OpenShift-ADP. So that means I have to provide that information. And this is all. Save configuration and run a synchronization. During a synchronization, Storware is needing few things from your OpenShift. Let's go there into and check what we are reading. So first of all, a number of workers which are used under, information about VMs, deployment config, and stateful sets which are used in your OpenShift. Information about the certificates, what clusters are there, what storages are under, and what networks are used in your OpenShift. That information are important because you can mix and use them during the restore process. Okay, to protect deployment config, stateful set, and VM, you have to create a backup policy. To start protection of deployment config, stateful set, and VMs, we have to prepare a backup policy. Before that, we have to make sure we already have a connected repository for our backups. Currently, Storware supports several options from which you can choose where you wish to store the data. You can find that in the backup destination segment. So there are several file systems. Let me wrap for you. File system synthetic, regular one, ISO layer, connector for Rubric, and Catalogic vStore. Also, few connectors, S3 connectors, others for object storages, enterprise backup providers, and tape library. In our demonstration, I will be using the local file system synthetic type. So let me quickly, with you, create a new instance, local file system. My backend is XFS, so that is good. I wish to connect my local node to make a backup, and my mode point is vprotect _ data NFS. Let's save our entry and let's make a connection to our mode point. Okay, that will take a few seconds. Perfect. So we can proceed further. Our backup destination is here, is properly connected. So right now we can create a backup policy. So we have to move back to virtual environments, open backup policy tab, and use create button to create a new one. Let's make a new policy. I'm going to name it as a new policy. Okay, I wish to enable schedules. I wish to remove not present VMs or other in my OpenShift, so that is all right. Now I can create and assign VMs or deployments to my policy. For that one, I wish to select only one single namespace, that will be a ASP.NET, and let me add, I think the first from the row, CentOS will be good for our demonstration. Let's also add one of deployments from here. Okay, next step, rule. Over there, you need to point where you wish to store your backup. So here is our entry. As you can see, local file system synthetic. You have to decide about the retention. So how many versions for each deployment or VMs you wish to store in your backup destination, or for how long that data should stay there. In my scenario, I will go simple, so unlimited number of versions, and I think 7 days for the retention will be good enough. Also from here I can decide if I wish to enable or disable immutability for each copy stored there. If I wish to use it, simple as that, just point a number for number of days to keep each copy safe in your repository. Then you need to assign a schedule. Let's create 2 schedules for the full and incremental backup together. First, name, choose a type of backup, so the full one, and how often and when that backup should be performed. In our scenario, 8 p.m. and I think I will hit and start that backup during the Saturdays. Okay, let's save it. And let's quickly create a new one for incremental backup. Incremental frequency. So if we choose Saturday, I'm pretty sure that will be good configuration. So other days of the week, incremental the same hour. Save. Let's double check if everything is set properly. Full incremental, 7 days to keep local file system synthetic, and 2 test subject already assigned in my backup policy. Let's save a configuration. As you can see, we have information. How many VMs are there, average size of the backup. So right now we can execute a backup. Instance view. Let's help ourselves with the filters over there. I can scope to see only one single policy and VMs which are there, or deployments which are there, and let's perform a backup. Full backup. As you can see, task has been submitted. That means I can extend a view here from the workflow execution console and check a live progress of my running task. As you can see, currently my status is in the queue, and we are waiting for the finish. Let's wait together. Okay, looks like our backup is finished. Let's double check what we have over there. If I go into protected item, I should see some information about the daily statistic, backup statistic, like a backup size, backup time, and transfer rate was used during the backup process. Also some information about the copies which are currently in my backup destination. Okay, so let's try right now together recover or restore that virtual machine. How to do it with Storware Backup and Recovery? Job looks like very simple. So you have to select item which you wish to recover, point your mouse into Action tab, and there is a Restore button. Use that one. Today we will be restoring VM into OpenShift by itself. So from my perspective, your perspective as well, that will be restored to virtualization provider. As you can see, there is a 5-step wizard. We need to fulfill everything to recover that VM. Starting with a copy, which we wish to use. I will use the last one available. Now I have an option to choose a virtualization provider. If in your environment are more than one OpenShift or OpenShift cluster, you can make a cross-restoration between them. In my scenario, there is only one. You can choose a proper namespace. I will use my dear colleague Adam namespace, and we can modify or rename our VM. So let's add here demo 25 at the end, and that will be a new name for our VM. Let's jump into storage. Here is a chance or opportunity to choose a proper storage that will be used under our VM. From my perspective, Ceph RBD. Now I have an option to select a proper network interface. As you can see, even two network interfaces. I will leave it as default. Okay, and in the next step, there are two available options. First is, let's say, power on, power off. This is up to a backup administrator if he wishes to start immediately VM after restore. And the second one, delete if int VM already exists in the environment. What does it mean? Storware will check if the original VM is still on the source. If so, we will replace the original one with the copy, with the VM made according to the copy taken directly from backup destination. For my scenario, I will keep it simple, so without these flags. Summary, let's double check everything over there, restore. And like in the backup process, tasks have been submitted, and that means I can pop up workflow execution console. I can collapse quickly the backup process and extend a view for my restore job. As you can see, the first of two tasks which are under that restore job is already finished. Now we are waiting together for implode to be completed. Perfect. Storware is reporting restore is completed. So that means we can close that one and go directly into our OpenShift cluster. Project, I mean namespace, which I used for the restore, that was ASP.NET. So let's open that one together. Okay, our list of project is available. Let's quickly swap into ASP.NET. We use that one, and here somewhere on the list should be our CentOS REST for demo 25. Let's boot that VM up, or let's check if that is running. Oh, it's in the running state. That's perfect. So that means if we go here, we should be able to open console. All right, looks like we have it. We are able to log into that VM. Can we make it like that from here? I should make a paste to console. Give me just a second. That allow it. And we should have access to our VM. Let's copy. Let's paste to console. Login incorrect. That means I don't have access to that VM. Anyway, VM is up and running. We already recovered that one from backup destination. So that means you have seen how Storware works, how Storware can protect virtual machine and other elements from OpenShift from OpenShift. That means deployment, deployment config, stateful set, and during this presentation you have seen virtual machines. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Now you know how we, Storware Backup and Recovery, can protect OpenShift environment. Stay tuned for another episode of our Academy.